my channel. Make sure you subscribe, like and comment.
Hello guys, welcome once again to another recap and review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So today we're going to be talking about episode 11. I can't believe that we're already at episode 11 of this season. Really, when I was like setting up the live stream, then I checked and I said, wow, we're in episode 11. It didn't give me the vibes that I've watched like 11 episodes. That's to show how much um um it hasn't been like I haven't had so much wow moment to say, okay, yeah, this show is really that interesting that I can remember that I have watched 11 episodes of it. And
Yeah,
and the fact that
it went really quick.
yeah, and the fact that during the trailer for the season, it was giving.
Yeah, I guess we haven't seen all the parts yet. We still have how many episodes to go? Okay, you froze up on me. Are you there? Well, yeah, I'm not too sure how many episodes left, but hopefully there's more to come. I'm pretty sure, so we'll just see. Are you there? Well, I don't know if anybody can hear me, but I apologize for our technical difficulties here. And we should be live again maybe in a minute. Me personally, I have no control. So we just have to wait. But anyway, I enjoyed the show really so much. I swear. There was a lot of good things happening on there, a lot of conversations we were privy to. Um, I loved the part with Nell, her family, and the doctor. That was a good part for me. You know, Nell, she's stubborn, in her own right, and I could appreciate, how she feels about, seeing therapists. I'll get
I
back.
don't know. I'm back. It seems like this week has not been my day. Like I literally, I literally want to start showing back my face on my channel, and it hasn't just worked out for me. Like I don't understand. There's always something going on. There's always something disrupting my. You know what? I don't know.
Wow.
Anyways,
Well, you're back
sorry
now.
guys. Sorry guys for the disruption. Um, so let's go ahead and talk about the episode because I've delayed a lot of us. Thank you to those that are watching. We started the episode with Nell's interview. With Nell's not interview. The Nell with her kids, they're talking about the fact that she also needs therapy, which I think that she does need therapy, not in a bad way, you know. And and I love that she went to meet Melody, because I think Melody talking to her and letting her know that you seeking therapy or you having therapy doesn't make you a weak person. Because most of us, we always think that, um especially in the Black community, I'm not even gonna say in the Black community, in my own community, in Nigeria here, and know one thing for sure, that you, we don't even really believe in therapy. We don't
Wow.
believe in depression. Like, you meet someone say I'm depressed, like, people might even laugh at you. What's the meaning of you're depressed? People don't believe that you can be depressed, you can be down, and you would
Mhm.
need counseling or seeing a psychologist. They don't believe in all those things yet. So I did understand, and I liked that she talked to Melody, and I like that Melody told her that, you see, you know what? Don't look at that. Don't look, because I believe at that moment she's looking at the fact that she feels like betrayed. Like she said, she felt betrayed by all her kids. That all her kids are literally ganging up against her. Nobody's ganging up against you. At the end of the day, everybody wants you to. They all want a resolution for themselves, because nobody nobody wants. um it's a close family. It's not like they have issues. It's not like they're fighting in the family. So at least they want to get a resolution to whatever they feel is the problem. So I love the fact that Melody talked to her, and I love that she took Melody's advice and decided to go for therapy and a family counseling together with the family. Which, when I was watching the counseling section, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, yeah, they really did need. In short, I don't feel like that one therapy section or that one counseling section was enough, in my own opinion. Me
Mhm.
watching how much layers that, for me, I felt like watching them, I feel like there's a lot of layers that needed to be peeled, because I felt like that one session they have, it did not do enough for me to say, yes, they have really done enough for me to say, okay, fine, they have really resolved. Did they really? The question now will be, did they really resolve the issue? Did Nell get the message that Dr. Franklin was trying to put across? Did the children get the message that he too was trying to put across? Did Chris get the message that he was they were trying the therapist was trying to put across? For me, in my own opinion, watching the episode, I don't think that they did, because even towards the end of the therapy section, you could still see that Nell was a little bit um still a little bit defensive about the situation and about everything going on, you know. So for me, I don't think this one session is enough. Except if maybe they want to give them a spin-off show. Yeah, probably. But for me, I feel like this one section is not enough for them to resolve that, because it's boundaries. People don't understand boundaries. Boundaries is a very vast topic. Like, uh boundaries is a very big topic for people to understand. Some people don't still understand boundaries. When you tell your friend, your very best friend, you tell your best friend that I want you to give me boundaries, the thing that your best friend is hearing is, I don't like you anymore. You get it. So many people don't understand the meaning of boundaries. They always feel like when you tell pet them, I want boundaries, it's always like maybe you don't like them anymore. Um, you don't want to talk to them anymore. So I feel like, hi, Shop Reality. I feel like that one therapy section didn't do nothing, in my opinion. And like I said, except if there's gonna be a spin-off show. Except they're like building it up for there to be a spin-off show where it's going to be only the Fletchers
Except
and the
they're like
family. Shop reality, why am I hearing echo? So except if there's gonna be a spin-off show, right?
Hmm.
That that's the only thing I feel like maybe they are storing it up for the spin-off show. But if not, I don't think they did enough.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they'll continue, with their therapy, because I really don't see anything wrong with talking things over just so you can kind of understand how you're feeling, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, it's sometimes it's good to have somebody from the outside that you don't know that doesn't have an
yeah.
opinion who can remain biased, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And so, yeah, hopefully, they'll get more of it because, Nell seems like she's exhausted. You
Mm.
know, she's exhausted because, you give and give and give to your kids, and, you know, they just be thinking like, oh, you're balling out of control. I can do this. I can ask you for that. And, sometimes it ain't always like that, and if it is like that, like she said, you're cutting into my retirement. So yeah.
Hi, Shop reality.
Hello. How are you
Hi.
guys? Hey.
You made it.
Yeah, by the skin of my teeth.
Oh wow. Well, we're glad you're here.
Glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Mm. We were talking about the therapy section, and I was saying that I don't feel like that one section was enough to deal with whatever issues that's going on within that family. And I was like, maybe they want to give them a spin-off show. Do you think it's possible that they're like hiding in the bushes trying to give them a spin-off show, and that's why they just hinted on that? And maybe that's why they're not going to do more therapy sections.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, especially since the kids, I like how they were very quiet. The kids are really quiet, but especially since they each seem to have so much, well, I don't know about all of them, but to answer your question, I wouldn't be surprised if they were getting a spinoff, especially since last season people said they were really interested in hearing about them. So then we get this episode that was a lot about them. And I don't like therapy sessions. That sort of
Mhm.
stuff doesn't interest me. So I started fast forwarding a little bit and I said, well, let me just go ahead and listen to part of it. And I liked it towards the end, but I don't like stuff like that. Like, if it's gonna be about that all the time, then I won't watch it, but if it's gonna be
Yeah.
about us finding out about each of the children and what they have going on, then that would interest me more.
Mm. But do you also think the children is ready for the publicity? Because people don't always remember that there's a publicity, and with publicity and fame comes all the rubbish and the goodness it comes with. So do you think that the kids will be ready for that kind of stuff? Because some of them are going to be hated at the end of the day. Some of them are going to be loved. Imagine your siblings, and one of you is the most loved than the others. Like, let's say how love and married is. One person is more loved than the rest. How will they handle the situation? Do you
I
think
don't
they are
know.
ready for that?
I don't know, but I think the Love and Marriage Huntsville fan base is an anomaly. And I know you've said before lots of fan bases react this sort of way, like the Beehive and is it the Navy? But I don't think that the Beehive does Beyonce, does she communicate with her fans at all? Does she communicate with the Beehive?
No, no.
I didn't hear yes or no. Yeah.
Like, go online, like how Melody does, like
Yes.
Instagram story, like
Yes. Does she do that?
no. But Taylor Swift connects with her fans.
The Taylor Swift, the Swifties.
Yeah, the Swifties.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know how those fan bases are, but I just think that this fan base is an anomaly, and just the way that the fans do go about reporting on a lot of things surrounding lots of people on the cast. I don't know.
Mm.
Like if they did get a spinoff, I don't know if the fan base would be that interested in following them so closely. You know what I mean? I think they
Oh,
follow the cast so closely because it's such a polarizing audience and how they feel about, Melody and how they feel
mm,
about the rest of the cast. I think that they scrutinize the cast much more than they would that show.
Mm.
If it's just a show made up of
mm,
them, I don't think they would scrutinize them as heavy.
mm. Yeah. Let's see whether they want to give them a spin-off, because for me, I would love to see more, although not much of, like you said, I know not much of the therapy sections, but I would love to see more of what the family has to bring. Let's see. Carlos does wonders. Let's see whether he can pull this one off. Um, and it might be a great show, because most of the shows he has been bringing up right now they haven't been doing great. So maybe this one might be a hit. Maybe it might.
I don't know.
Then,
I don't want to see any therapy sessions, that's for sure. That kind of stuff. I don't like that kind of stuff. Like any of those shows on, I don't watch
yeah.
anything on there other than Family Empire. I don't like when a man loves a woman, the haves and the have not. I'm not interested in none of that stuff. I do watch Love and Marriage
Oh, his
DC.
family empire.
I
Is
love
family empire
Family
interesting?
Empire.
Wow, the new show of Carlos.
It is so good. That's a good show.
Wow. I hope he doesn't ruin it. He's fond of he's fond of focusing on the bad rather than the good side. So
That's a good
I hope he
point.
doesn't.
That's a
I
good
hope he
point because
doesn't.
I don't know if do you watch it? Have you seen it yet?
I haven't. I
You have
see,
not.
since
Okay.
I've noticed that Carlos has this pattern of, even the new show he did in with TV that got cancelled after the first season. He focused more
What
on the
show is
bad
that?
side.
I don't remember
What
that
show is
show.
that?
He brought in some big names, like we
Bad and
had
Bougie?
Monet. Yes, Bad
Was
and
that was
Bougie.
it
Yeah.
was it ever substantiated that that show was canceled? I thought that that was a rumor,
They said it was cancelled.
but I don't think there was ever any formal announcement that it was canceled. And then somebody else reported that he said it was picked up for a second season.
Oh
He
wow.
said it was
What?
bigger for a second
Yep.
season.
Right. What happened was someone had tweeted like first after the first episode. It was just a tweet on Twitter that the show had been
Mm,
canceled. And then like weeks later, people
oh,
were reporting that tweet. It was just a tweet that somebody had tweeted, but I don't think it was ever
oh,
formally announced that the show was canceled.
Mm.
okay.
Yeah, I
For
think that
me,
was just a
I
rumor.
I I watched like two episodes of this because of the names that were there. I was like, maybe it was gonna be interesting. But when I saw I was like, no, no,
No, it
it
wasn't
didn't
any
do.
good. I watched one episode. It was
Yeah,
not good. But
it
this
it didn't
Family
do
Empire,
any.
yeah, that show, it
Yeah.
looked like it was a rush job just to throw something together just to because the network ordered something. But Family Empire looks like it's really good. I shouldn't say looks like it. It is good. And there's so many family members, so there's so many moving parts, but it seems to
But
focus
why?
on these three, but it's really good.
But why is not
You break
promoting
it
it? Why
up,
is it that is
or
the
is it
only
me?
show they managed to promote is Love and Marriage Huntsville? That's the only show they managed to produce.
Is it
To
me
to
or is
to
it
promote
her?
it,
She
not
sounds like a
produce.
robot.
Can you hear me?
You were sounding like a robot. You said, why does it take so much to produce? That's all I heard.
Not produce. I was like, why does it take own so, as in, it's very hard for them to promote their series or their shows. The only
What
show
do you
that
mean?
I've seen that they you said,
I said, what do you mean it's hard for them to promote it? What do you mean?
like, promote, like, put it out there, like, make noise, like, I don't know, their shows doesn't just get, like, if except if you are own, like, you're somebody that love own network itself, or you've been on a show on own network, that's when you will get to find out that they have other shows. But if you were never an own person, even if they have a good show, you will never find out that they have a good show from the network, because The way Bravo pushes their show, the way they're very vocal about their show, the way they do things to make people know, to get info about their shows, like it's different.
Well,
Own is just different.
well, you have to consider the size of the networks. Bravo is backed by NBC Universal, so that's huge. NBC, OWN is just, I guess, Discovery is just like
Oh, we can't hear you anymore. Separating.
but you have to consider the budget, the amount of money that it would
Mm,
cost. So yeah, keep that in mind when you think about that. Like NBC versus, is it Warner Media or Discovery? I'm not quite sure who owns OWN, but Bravo has a larger fan base, of course, because it's been around for a while. It's been producing that type of content for a while. When OWN first came out, it was more like a self-help channel. When Oprah was doing it, it was like self-help stuff. And a lot of people don't like that kind of stuff, like myself. I don't like that kind of stuff. Deepak Chopra and all. I'm not interested. Then she started adding with Tyler Perry, his shows, started adding more to it. So it has evolved into what we see now. When Bravo came out, it started off with, the type of content that it has now. And I forget that other show where they would dress people up. But yeah, just consider that the size of the network, as far as, revenue size and the parent owner of the network, it's much larger than OWN is.
oh, well, let's just put it like that, because for me, I didn't know that family empire. I'd already given up on Carlos's show, that I didn't even want to give it airtime, because I would have been pissed off if I picked it up and dropped it at the end of the
I
day.
think you would like this one. This one is totally different. It's nothing like Bold and Bougie at all, and it's not like Love and Marriage Huntsville either. It's about this family, and primarily they're talking about real estate, but one of the stars of the show said that's not really what it's going to be about. So now the third episode, they're talking more about their personal lives. But of course, the real
Yeah.
estate is in the backdrop. But it's a really good show. And it doesn't even feel like a Carlos King show yet. The budget seems to be
Mm,
bigger. I don't know if it's because maybe the people have already established careers and finance, because the women, they all look
mm,
great. Their hair, makeup, clothes, everything. They look the part. So that could be it.
mm,
As far as when we first saw Love and Marriage Huntsville, smaller town. Houston is a huge city. Houston is a huge
mm.
city. Yeah, so it's a big difference. I'm not getting the Carlos King feel just yet. I'm getting just, it just seems like just a regular reality TV show.
Okay. Yeah, well, I guess I'll go give it a watch and see, because nobody's actually even talking about it on YouTube. So that's why I didn't
Yeah,
even bother.
I had done a couple of videos about it. That I think like the last one, 50 people watched it. So I didn't do any more. But I may do another one. I like that show. And it doesn't have that, this dark cloud looming over it right now. Because as you said,
Yeah.
nobody's really reporting on it.
I guess I would go take a watch on it and see how it goes. Anyway, back to Love and Marriage Huntsville. We saw Marquez. Is it Marquez or Marquise or Marquez? I don't know how his name is even pronounced. The ex-husband of Tricia finally showing up. And when I say for the first time on Love and Marriage history, I agreed with Marsau. I was sitting down watching and I was like, yeah, Marsau, tell this guy what you need to tell him, because this he was delusional. The things he was saying, I was like, are you listening? Like, are you even listening to yourself? Are you listening to yourself? Because how do you say you left? You left, but you forgot your kids. You left to another city and forgot your kids. Now your kids are on your mind just because another man stepped up to take care of your kids. Now you're feeling a certain kind of way. If there was no man, I'm saying it when I was watching it, what I said to myself was like, if there wasn't any man in the picture, if there wasn't any man in Latricia's life, this guy would not come back. The only reason why he's back ranting what he's ranting is because there's a man in Latrice's life, and the man has stepped off, and the man is standing in the place of a father that he didn't stand. Now his children are looking at him as a father figure. Why? Because you, the father, could not do a good job. I was so surprised. I said, wow, I never knew Marsau was a man of wisdom, because he was telling this guy, yes, a father is someone that takes the child to wherever he or she wants to go to. That is what a father is. It's not about I gave birth to you, because a lot of people tend to believe, oh, just because I gave birth to you, I'm a father. No, a father is more than that. And I was so glad that Marsau told him and let him know that you have effed up in your role as a father. So you actually absolutely have no right to be pissed off. The only part that when he was talking, I was like, okay, yeah, you were doing great until this moment. When he said he was in his confessional, he said this the case looks so similar, because it looks like how did they put it, that Martel and Melody's situation, and he attributed Marquez as Melody. I was like, oh wow. In that part, I didn't understand the comparison, because no, Marquez cannot be Melody in any way. But I love the fact that Marsau told that guy that he didn't try, because the way he came in, like, I don't like Ken, I don't like him. You are just jealous because he has taken up your role, the role you decided to leave. You literally left up and went to another city, not caring about your children. Now you've seen your children happy. You're now like, oh wow, they're happy without me. That's how I saw it. I didn't like it.
Well, I felt that Marcel, he knows because he's really not trying to mess up his situation with Letitia, you know, and he knows he's probably been out there doing his thing one time or another, but he also watched how Martell went from way up here to down here, and still haven't apologized or humbled himself, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
I think the information that he gave him was spot on, you know, that it's a privilege to be a father, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, don't take it lightly, and you can't be mad if somebody else is entertaining your love, you know? Because he said he didn't want to get back with her, you know? I don't see what the problem is. I mean, how come you weren't at the PTA meetings? You know what I'm saying? How come you
Yeah.
weren't at the basketball meetings? He bought your son a car. Well, how come you didn't buy your son a car? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I thought it was spot on what Marcel told him.
What did you feel about that part separating? Sure.
I was just wondering, boy, this town must be so small that everybody knows everybody. So,
Exactly.
yes, wasn't that ridiculous? Now, and then the question is, how long ago was that? Because the guy looked like really young. How old was he when he worked there with you? And how long did he work
Yeah.
there? But he's coming by to get some advice from you. Yeah, but Marcel's skin looked really good. I don't know if you guys noticed. His skin looked so good.
Mm-hmm. He's
So
glowing.
clear. Yeah, it was. It was glowing. But yeah, that scene, I'm just wondering how much did they pay that man to come on TV and embarrass himself like that? I mean, why would you put your business out there like that and then you're mad because this man is doing what a father should do with your kids? He sounded ridiculous. How much did they pay him?
Yeah.
And when was that recorded? Because did you notice he said, yeah, on Father's Day. Thinking Father's Day.
Yeah,
Father's Day is in June.
I wanted to also ask, because I was like, this is this a case of it was recorded before, or they just joined and cut and joined, in the episode? That's how I was feeling, but I was like, well,
Yeah,
let's
I
just roll
think
with
this
it.
was I think this was recorded recently and they stuck it in there because why did he say Father's Day? Father's Day is in June. And then look at the way
Mm,
Marceau looked. His skin looked really good. It didn't look like winter time to me. It looked
mm.
like it was June. Even that night, just the light jacket that he had on. I think that that was recorded recently. And the Father's Day comment gave it away.
Yeah. And for me, I just, like you said, he really did embarrass himself, and I was like, you know what? At this moment, I feel like he should just shut up, because he kept on trying to embarrass himself, and Marsau was trying to help him out. Kudos to Marsau for helping him out, because I'm pretty sure he wanted to come for a fight. I'm pretty sure he wanted to come for a fight, and the fact that he said he wasn't there for her when her parents died, all those things, and from nowhere you're feeling pissed off, like, dude, dude, please take it easy. Take it easy. But before we go ahead and talk about what happened in the episode, because for me, I felt the episode was a little bit dry and a little bit boring. Before we go ahead, I want to ask: we saw when they did the poster for the main couples and main people of the show, we saw Melody, Letitia, Maurice, Kimmy, Marsau, Letitia. Excuse me, what's happening to all of them? Because in how many episodes we've seen Maurice and Kimmy in like how many minutes in all the whole episodes, that this is episode 11. And Melody, we only saw her very well during the first episode, and then second episode, and then third episode, and fourth episode, a little bit in fourth episode. We saw her very well. Then Letitia and Masao, we saw them the second episode. We saw them during Nell's birthday, and we saw Masao. Okay, we didn't see Masao last week. Now Masao was in this week, but we didn't see Letitia. Melody showed this week just for a few minutes in the episode. What is going on? Are they really the main cast, or they just put them as poster boys or poster girls so that people will still be watching?
I don't know. I think maybe everybody, maybe they listened when we said we're tired of them. They don't have a storyline. They're narcissists. They're this. They're that. They're not showing us anything. You know, I think that's why they bought Letitia and what's her name, Sunny in. You know, just trying to give
Mm-hmm.
it some new life. Because they still don't have nothing really, you know. And if they do, they're not willing to like let everybody in right now.
Mm. What do you feel about social reality?
Well, I was going to say that I think that scene with Nell and Mel was filmed recently also because the hair. We saw Mel filming at the beginning of the year. She was wearing the short cut. Now she's wearing hair that's similar to what we've seen her post when she was posting on Instagram lately. And then also, that you notice with the glasses that they were drinking out of, it said something about summer. And she's like, "Oh, look at the glass." And it said something about bring on summer or it's summertime, something the glass said. You wouldn't have those glasses in the wintertime. And they were all
True.
outside, and you could hear like the mosquitoes buzzing around. Go back and
Mm-hmm.
watch the scene if you get a chance. You could hear all the insects just buzzing around like it's
Oh
spring or
wow.
summertime.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think that that was a recent filming that they did, and they just slipped it in the first half of this season. It just seems like the show is going in a totally different direction, as he said before, and that's what I was wondering why Kimmy got on Cameo. Months ago, Kimmy announced that she was on Cameo, And at the time, I was wondering, well, why is she getting on Cameo? Is she no longer main cast? I was wondering that myself. They still show her when the opening
Oh,
credit. What?
Kimmy announced that.
That she's on Cameo. Cameo is an app. You guys have Cameo there?
No.
It's an
No,
app
I'm not
where you can get
sure.
a celebrity to record like a birthday greeting for you. Like if your
Oh, okay.
grandmother
Yes, yes,
likes,
yes. I remember that when she, okay, there was a post something about something like that on her
Yeah.
Instagram or something like that. Yeah.
right. And that
Oh,
was
that's
like back in
cool.
February. So I was like, why would she be getting on Cameo? So maybe she realized during filming that they were not using her very much. I don't know. This is pure speculation on my part. But now it's starting to make sense. We hardly ever see them, and they're not integral to the storyline. We saw her sit down with Sunny and Moses last week, but as far as, you know, Stormy is the one who seems to be carrying the storyline forward, going and visiting different people, bringing up certain things, when Kimmy is the one who used to do that.
Mm.
But the show just looks like a totally different show now. It's like all those little stuff that used to go on before, you're not seeing it. You're not seeing the couple stuff. You're not seeing the couples talk about
Yeah.
Nell and Martell. You're seeing the show seem to focus on Tricia and her situation. And
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
then,
it's also, you see, the thing is, they're not focusing on Mel and Mattel. Now they found another excuse. They found another person to focus on. Just because Melody has been like, you know what, I don't want you guys to focus on me, focus on yourself. And, she has told them, let's not do this. So now they found another target, which is Trisha and her ex-husband and her side boo. That's a new focus because that's what is on everybody's mouth. Because
right,
truthfully, when it comes to the Destiny and Moses topic, after next week's episode where Mattel and Destiny have the chat, I think that's where it's going to end. Except on the girls trip, I maybe they will have that talk again on the girls trip. We don't know yet. But for me, I think that's where that Sonia and Moses episode is going to end. I feel like that is where it's going to end. That's where it's going to end. So what else are they going to focus on? It's going to also be on Trish and Marques. And now that he said he wants to have a chat with Ken, one-on-one chat, and the way he was speaking, mm, I feel like that's the new focus. Although I'm trying to see whether everybody will focus, although Melody and the rest are trying not to focus so much, but it's given that they're trying to focus on them.
and did you hear that comment Marsau made saying that they are the new Mel and Martell? You heard him say that?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
say that. I was like, yeah, when he said that, but the thing is, Marquez
Yeah,
is Melody.
right. Yeah.
I was
It's
like,
like, why
no,
did he
that
say
description
that?
was very wrong. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was asking myself, why did he say that?
Well, I
I feel
wonder if he
like
was
Marsau,
prompted to say that. Was he
yeah, I feel
prompted
like
to make some
Marsau,
sort of comparison?
yeah, I feel like when that's why I did not talk so much about it when I just breezed it. I just chipped it in when we were talking about it. I said I was happy when he was talking to that guy because that guy needed talking to. But the moment he said that thing about Melody and Mattel, I was like, no, you've gone off the rails. But I also, when I was watching it, I was like, the way he was sounding, like, did they force him to do that? Did the producers like push him to say that? You know how these producers can be. Did they push him to say that? Because that is how I felt. I because for me, somebody's asking me a question, and next first thing I'm mentioning is Melody and Marcel. How are they? Their situation is different, very very different. Like Melody, Martel and Melody's situation is on a different level. You cannot quantify the both of them the same. It's not possible. So me, I felt like maybe they just wanted to try to rope in because at the end of the day, let's be truthful, this Tricia and Marquez storyline has not really that resonated with a lot of people. So maybe they felt like if we try to compare them to Melody, to Martel and Melody, people might start, getting into them like, okay, would they be the new Martel and Melody? Would their relationship be as toxic as Martel and Melody? That's what me I felt that they wanted to mention the comparison so that people would gain more interest in the situation between the Marquez and Ken and Latricia. Because me, I really don't have much interest in it.
Yep, that's what I gathered too, because why would he say that? But it was just to, maybe that was to put that in the minds of the viewers so that viewers would get, you know,
Mm-hmm.
develop an affinity for this tr- thruple or whatever it's called. I don't know. But I'm not interested because they have not developed her as a character enough for us to be emotionally attached or invested in her. Then they keep bringing up, oh, well, he's chocolate, he's chocolate. So I think that they're trying to get the women enticed by that. Oh, look, he's good looking. So then the women will look at him in a certain way. Ken, I mean, oh, look, he's good looking. Like Martell was good looking, and women like that, even though they love to hate him, he was still a good looking guy. So then they're trying to, tease the women with that. Oh, he's chocolate. He's muscle bound. He works out. It's not enough. We don't know these people. They were just kind of thrown into our faces. And hey, here's this new couple. Become interested in the story. She's still married. Like, how many people are still married and are separated and are dating other people and going on about their lives?
Mm-hmm.
I know someone who's been estranged from their spouse for about 13 years and just still hasn't filed any paperwork. So it's like it's a commonplace thing that people are doing. So I don't know what was the intrigue about this. Oh, and they just kept it in a shroud of mystery. And then now all of a sudden the husband appears and he had no personality. I
Yeah.
could barely understand what he was
Oh my
saying.
God. He has no single personality. He was so dry. Because you know
So
what?
tired.
The way Carlos talked about him when he was doing his review with Heavenly, he was like, like, their husband is coming. He like if something that like okay. I was like, even me when I watched the review, I was like, okay, let me be waiting for the episode. I felt like he has charisma, he has something that would like be like, yeah, I want this guy on the show. But me watching him is so dull. He's just dull. The only thing he has is just that pride. Apart from the pride he has
Hmm.
about the fatherhood thing and the father thing, and nothing else is going for him. He doesn't have even Ken himself. Let's be serious. Ken himself does not have that wow factor. Marcel has that wow factor that you might dislike him, but you still want to listen to what he has to say. You get Ken doesn't even have that. He doesn't have that. Marcel has that attitude and that thing about around him in the air that you want to listen to him. At least you want to hear what he has to say before you judge what he said. Well, Ken doesn't have that. Imagine the person that you're hyping up to be the main character of your show, Latrice. We can barely hear her speaking. Latricia, we can barely hear her speaking. Then the husband doesn't have any charisma. Then the side dude doesn't have any. So what is the hype? And that's why I felt like that's why they made that comparison to like
Yeah,
give them hype when the hype was not there. Give them hype
exactly.
when the hype is not there.
I think that they thought because they were good looking people, like Mel and Martell are good looking people.
Mm.
We have to give it to them. They're a very attractive couple. I think
Yeah,
people
Right.
thought that,
Ken is
oh,
buff.
well, right, Ken is buff, he's chocolate. And I think the ex
Hmm.
he has like green eyes or brown eyes or
Yeah,
something,
he's
right?
handsome.
Handsome. So I think they probably thought that women would be, gravitate towards his story, but they have no personality. It's
They
just
have
falling
no.
flat at this point.
I was on Twitter when the episode was airing, and I was just like, I want to hear what people were saying. But people were like, "Wow, I'm already over this drama." A lot of people were like, "I'm already over this drama." I was expecting something, but coming into it, I didn't get what I was expecting, and it's understandable. It's not giving. It's not. I see more energy from Marsau and Letitia than them. I guess maybe that's why they are still the main cast of the show because when they have their issues, when they have interactions, you still feel the energy between them. You see, you are either excited, you're annoyed, you shall go home with a feeling. But these ones were just like, okay, you know what? You know what I ended up doing when I watched the episode. I was like, okay, since he had a meeting with Latricia, okay, let's wait for the chat with Ken. But did you see the way when she had that conversation with the ex? Did you see the way she kind of downgraded him because probably he's not as rich as they are?
When she said that Ken would pay for to file the paperwork.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
That part I was like, okay, okay, okay. The two of them sitting down talking there was like the distance was as if. Do you understand why did they give themselves that distance and they were outside in the cold? Like I didn't understand that conversation. I didn't understand the environment at all. Why were they
And
there? Why?
I could barely hear him. I don't even know what he said. I need to go back and watch it. But you're right. There was a big different distance between the two as they spoke. Maybe that was the agreement that he had to be far away from her. I don't know. But and it was supposed to be just this showdown, I guess, that we were anticipating.
Uh,
Oh, she's
yeah.
meeting with X. It fell flat.
Oh my God. Oh, I, I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to review it, but I skipped through it. I skipped through the conversation because I was, I'm gonna be truthful. The people that saved this episode was the Fletchers. Apart from the Fletchers, it was a no-no for me. The episode was a no-no for me. It really fell flat. And it's also giving me that next week is also going to fall flat. And talking about next week, right? Um, is it me or Mattel is trying to by himself create the notion that him and Tricia did something because he's telling different stories to different people and reacting differently to different people, trying to create drama. Am I just the one that's sensing it?
I don't know. I've always said that it seemed like something was going on. You know, I don't think that I'm wrong, but we'll see.
Um, would we really see? Would they really tell us the truth of what happened between the both of them? Because we know Mattel is very secretive. And I think in the interview he did, he said there was nothing. So I don't know. But the way they're trying to plant the doubt, they're trying to plant that doubt. Like, okay, let's go on. Let's continue in the chat. Let's continue. And next week we're gonna see the people. The people are gonna see very well is Stormy, Destiny, and Mattel, and the way Destiny was trying to call him out for choosing money over their friendship. I said it that she was gonna call him out on that. I said it because I'm pretty sure that there's so many times she has chosen their friendship over a lot of things. So to see that he chose money over their friendship, that would have been bad. And she literally did call him out. What do you think with the preview they gave us in this episode? Do you think next week episode is gonna be better? Because we know that from the ratings of the show is literally dropping. Do you think next week is gonna be better?
I don't really foresee that. You know, I mean, the only thing anybody's probably really interested in is how did what's her name, Letitia and Martell meet? Anything else, I mean, it's a buck. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It's kind of boring.
How about you, Shop Reality? Do you think next week will do better considering the ratings dropping?
To be honest, the only storyline I'm interested this season is Sunny Moses and Destiny. I don't care if Trisha and Martell ever went out. don't care. It's just no, I'm not interested in whatever it is that they decided to cook up this season with her. And like I keep saying, they found a way to get Martell engaged in a storyline
Yeah.
for him this season. The producers were able to do it. They found something for Martell to do, but
We're
I'm not interested
producing,
in it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just interested in the Sunny and Destiny storyline for now. That's and then what happens on the girls' trip, and that's it.
Mm. Well, let's just see how that will play out because truthfully, I was bored in this episode, and I'm sure that if the ratings come out, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a disappointing ratings. If it's not going to go lower than last week's episode, I know that it's going to. And I think I don't know what is stopping Carlos, but I think he has to do a rethink and reshuffle of this cast members. He has to do a reshuffle, a real reshuffle.
Yeah, and it has to start somewhere. So then maybe this is the beginning of that shuffle. This is the beginning of something different. So this could be the season where they are shuffling things around. And let's see what's going to stick in preparation for next season. Because right now it does look like a different show. You see the older people kind of sprinkled here and there, but like you mentioned earlier, Maurice and Kimmy like MIA. And then the first several episodes we got Tisha every episode. We haven't seen Tisha for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then Mel, like, surprise, she was sprinkled in this episode. And I still think, and I could be wrong, I think that that has been recorded recently. If you go back and watch that scene, listen to those bugs in the background. Those bugs that are flying around, those are not sounds that you hear in a winter, January, February. I guess it could
Mm-hmm.
be a spring sound, but look at the way they're dressed and the glasses. The glasses said something
Mm.
about summer.
Yeah.
So, and her hair is like totally different. When we saw them filming before, she was constantly wearing that short do. The hair
Short
she's
wig,
wearing
yeah.
now, we've seen her wear that recently. Yeah. So, whatever is going on, he is a king of reality TV. He knows what he's doing. And
Is
you
he
have to
really
start.
the king of reality TV?
That's what he
Or it's
said.
just that's a self-proclaimed title.
Well, Michael Jackson was the king of pop. That's what he said.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, when if you call yourself the king of reality TV show, there are some things that he should have changed from the onset. There's some things he should have nipped on the board from the onset on that show that wouldn't have made it go so low that it is right now.
Well, it's low because there are people who say that they're not going to watch it. We have to think about it. There's a large fan base that said that they're not going to watch it.
Oh, it's
In a,
true.
right. So, and then it ebbs and flows because next week, who knows? Maybe this episode it went back up. We don't know. But Carlos posted on Instagram just the other day saying that
Mm.
it has the highest ratings that it has been in a long time. So people are not watching. Now, the ratings that are being reported, those are the Nielsen ratings. Those are the ratings of people who are watching it on the same day. And it doesn't include
Okay.
streaming. Carlos is
Streaming.
reporting, right, it does not include streaming. Carlos is reporting streaming. So when people watch it on the apps, and
Yeah.
wherever else they watch it, that doesn't count. And I think even he was including 3 days within a 3 day time span. Those Nielsen
Did
ratings
you did
don't
you did
include.
you release the ratings, the
I don't.
result?
I haven't been keeping up with the ratings. So when you mentioned the ratings were low last week, I didn't even know. I don't even keep up with that stuff anymore because I've kind of disconnected from
Yeah.
content creation. But what I do know is that when I was reporting the ratings, those were only for live and same day viewership. That did not include streaming. That did not include 3 days. When Carlos reported that the ratings had been the best ever, or however he worded it, don't quote me on that. He was
But
reporting streaming.
can't he also be lying? Because we know that one thing
I
about
don't think he was
businessmen,
lying. I don't think he. I don't think he would make that up
for
because
last week's episode,
mhm.
Last week's episode. Okay, what happened last week's episode?
I don't know what the ratings were last week. What were they? I don't know.
Last week's episode was low
I don't even
for
know.
the same
I
day
don't watch it.
streaming.
But again,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is the ratings that you're hearing about, I would have to assume those are Nielsen ratings. That's only for live viewers and same day viewers. That does not include streaming, and it doesn't include 3-day viewership. So there's different rating systems. That's what I just wanted to say
Yeah,
in a
that's what I'm
nutshell.
saying. I'm saying yes, I understand what you're saying now.
Okay,
And I'm saying that now we cannot find out, we cannot really verify because we know for that same day a lot of people do release the ratings. But for this one that sorry, that Carlos is talking about, we don't really have anybody revealing the ratings. So he can just come out
exactly,
and say, I
exactly.
it's like
You're
coming out and
right.
say I made 1 million in one
You're
day,
right.
and you
You're
just
right.
hype it up,
You're
like
right.
to hype up
You're,
your resume, like I made
you're
1 million in
right.
one day. Of course,
You're
you want
right.
to make business with me.
You're right.
Who
And
doesn't want
that's
to make me one business with someone that made 1 million in one day? So I feel like maybe he might be hyping it up. I'm not saying that they
he
might not
could
be
be.
doing good.
He could be, but the million in one day, she really did make a million in one day. And she did make another million. I don't know if you guys know that.
Oh, stop. No, I'm not even talking about Stormy. I'm
Okay,
talking.
I know you're not. I know you're not, but for people who may be watching this,
By the way,
but you,
congratulations to Stormy for
yeah, she did it
making.
again. She did it again. And that's just crazy, right? And I did buy a bunch of stuff. She did it again. And she had
Oh,
some
you
good
bought it during the
deals.
live.
I'm sorry?
You bought it during the live session that day.
Yes, she had some good deals. She was selling her stuff for like the hair stuff for
Mm.
$10 at the end. But anyway, back to what you're saying. You're absolutely right. He could be saying anything, but he didn't write the article. The article was written by Variety, and he was just reposting their article. But that was the issue with the writer's strike. That was one of the contentions that the writers had, is that the studios and the networks could say anything in regards to the numbers, because the streaming
Mm.
numbers are not, I don't think the streaming numbers are aggregated by a third
Yeah.
party. That's the best way to write
Okay.
to say it. It's them themselves. They
That.
are the ones
Yeah.
who are, yeah, I don't know if aggregate is the right word. I'll just use it anyway. They're the ones who are
Mm-hmm.
aggregating the numbers themselves, not a third party,
Mm.
which would be the
Not a third
Nielsen
party.
numbers.
Yeah. Where? Yeah.
Yeah. So he's
No.
saying that these were the numbers, but you're right. We don't know if those numbers are accurate or not, but they could be. So it could be people who say that they're not watching it, and maybe they're not watching it on Saturday, but maybe they're watching it on Wednesday. Maybe they're watching it
Mm.
on the apps. We don't know, but you're
Mm.
right. We don't even know if those numbers are accurate or not.
The thing is, I'm gonna believe that because I know the first 3 4 episodes of the season was interesting, and so I know that the show has viewers, has fans that want to watch, and I know there are some that have said they're gonna block it out and not watch the episode. And I also believe that those numbers might be real from Carlos's end. But one thing I know is that as far as I don't have somebody that can really verify to say, yeah, this is this. That Mel, that is me. I'm one person like that. I don't. You tell me, I will congratulate you, but I don't go as like, okay, I really do believe, except if I have somebody that can verify, like, okay, yes, you said we had 300 and something thousand people. Yes, I can verify that there were 300 and something thousand people, like you said, and hey, then I'll be like, okay, we have like 3 or 4 people verifying that. But as far as you just come out, because I've seen people come out to lie about things that, you know, everybody is trying. Um, I'm trying to remember. There's a thing a friend of mine used to say about how people are trying to, like, okay, fake it till you make it. You know, we have to just fake it till we make it. Let's keep on faking it until we make it. So it could also be
And
like faking it
in
till they
his
make it.
case too, that network really doesn't have that many options on the network. So
Mm-hmm.
perhaps the numbers could be low and they keep bringing it back, because if it's inexpensive to produce, which most reality TV shows are, and it's still making
Yeah.
money for you, then why not bring it back? And as you notice, we've seen these new characters on the show. Like, how much are they getting paid? not as much as
I was even
right.
wondering because they won't be paid anything like the way Mattel and the rest are being paid.
Exactly. So if we and then from what Destiny said, based upon her contract, I don't know if this goes for everybody, but when
Mm,
Dr. Heavenly asked, Dr. Heavenly said, in our case, if we're not on the episode, we don't get paid. Is that the same
you
for you
don't get
guys? In a
paid.
nutshell, and she agreed. So think about, we have not seen Kimmy and Maurice every episode. We have not seen Mel
Yeah,
every episode. We have not seen Martell. So if you're shuffling these people around and we're assuming that they don't get paid, I could be wrong. Maybe they do. This is pure speculation. But if these people
yeah,
are not getting paid for not being on the episode, but then we see Trish. I think Trish has been in almost every episode. Maybe we didn't see her
yeah.
last week, did
Maybe
we?
her fee is better.
Her fee would be a lot less, right? So you're
Mm,
paying less for these new people. Who knows how much the ex husband got paid to appear? Probably not much. We don't know, but you're paying less for these people. This could be the season where you are trying to shuffle some things around for you to determine what the direction of the show is going to be next season. So this could be the season that okay, we're just going to play around with it. This is me speculating. We're going to shift some moving
mm,
parts. Let's see what works, what doesn't work in
yeah,
preparation for the next season because it seems like,
yeah,
those old storylines that we used to get, we're not getting them this time around. And those
yeah,
same people who sat around and didn't do or say much, I'm not going to
yeah,
mention any names, but I've already mentioned their names before. You just come into a scene and, oh, well, such and such, and that's
yeah,
all you did.
yeah,
You're not going to keep coasting along because now we're talking about
yeah.
Ken and Trish and X, and they're probably cheaper
Yeah.
to produce than the other people are.
Let's
That's
see. I
speculation.
think a lot of things for me, before we conclude, in my own opinion, I feel like a lot of things changed from from the Mattel and Melody Scott case where he was found guilty. This recent one that happened earlier this year, and the fact that a lot of moving parts, things then changed for her because before she could if stay in the same room with him, yes, she would keep her distance, but now she doesn't want to even be in the same environment with him. So I think from there, the things that are changing, we can't do this Martin and Melody stuff again because they don't want to even, she doesn't want to be in the same room with him. She doesn't want to even smell the same air he smells. Yeah. And and also I think like because of the Maurice and Maurice versus the content creators, then the way they now roped in on TV into the equation, I feel like that's another thing that is stopping them because I feel like they might look like, okay, this is is a serious case. Would we want to implicate ourselves by letting this guy be on the show? And probably he might want to talk about the show, that kind of thing. Let him not, let them not discuss about this court case on the show for our own good. Because at the end of the day, according to Urban Bell, they said they roped in on TV into the equation. So on TV is also going to be joining the lawsuits that the content creator filed against Maurice. So I feel like those things too are the moving part that changed for them this season that made the thing all the storylines change. And the cast members were not even helping themselves. There was an episode that Heavenly and Carlos was doing, and Heavenly said something that she has never seen a cast member that every one of them is always in going to jail every weekday. Like a lot of them we've seen during this last month or so, Maurice, there's always one issue, and most of them don't want to talk about those things because it's an embarrassing situation. They don't want to talk about it on the show. So a lot of moving parts just happened, and I think they're trying to like, let's salvage the situation. Let's just salvage it. Because the first question I was asking myself was that if they gave Melody a restraining order against Mattel, how will they continue with this show? How? That was my first question. And I feel like those things that I just mentioned are part of the things that are kind of making the show go through a different direction than probably what they thought they were going to, you know, go through. I might be wrong, but that's how I feel. This is how I feel. Oh, Anyways, let's just wait and see next week's episode, see whether it's gonna be better than this week episode because truthfully I was disappointed with this week's episode. Well guys, thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you, Shop Reality, for making it and joining us today. Thank you, Living for My Girls, for joining us also today. We'll see you guys same time next week. Don't forget to click on the social button down below to subscribe. Make sure you like on this video and comment your thoughts and opinion on what we said on this video. We'll see you guys same time next week.
Bye.
Bye.